Thank you folks again for tuning in to another episode of Bigfoot BS with Bill and Sam. This is episode 5, and this evening we have with us Mr. Ed Brown.
How's it going, everybody?
And Mr. Ed Brown is very well known in the community, has interviewed several witnesses, several celebrities within the Bigfoot community, and we're just going to take a little bit of his time this evening and speak with him. So Ed, how long have you actually been researching and interviewing people within the Bigfoot community?
We're in our 3rd year now with the Bigtruth channel on YouTube. That's one word, Bigtruth. So we're in our 3rd season with the interviews and the shows.
Good deal, good deal. And you interview a lot of witnesses from around the United States, don't you?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Who's your favorite witness that you've interviewed?
You know, actually Bob Gimlin would have to be my favorite witness because he was there when the Patty film was taken, and you can't get any better than that, you know.
What was and that interests me too. So, what was one of the most amazing things, or one of the keynotes you might have taken away from that sit down with Bob Gimlin?
You know, it was the life-threatening things that went on besides the whole Patty incident. It was all the behind-the-scenes stuff with, you know, the landslides and trucks almost going off mountains, and you know, the rain, and he got pneumonia, and I mean, there was a lot, you know, there was a lot of things. I definitely urge you to watch that because there's a lot of behind the scenes things that he's never talked about anywhere else that I was honored to have an opportunity to listen to.
Yeah, and I noticed that on there too, and that's a great interview. I encourage everybody to definitely check that out. Along with what Ed does in the Bigfoot community, he also researches some, and he's had I think 4 occasions. I'm going to let him tell us briefly about each of those occasions.
Well, yeah, I mean, out of all the times I've been out, you know, I've seen some things that I'm still, you know, looking into. I don't know what they are, you know, strange things, you know. On one occasion, we saw an orange flash in the middle of the woods, and there was 4 of us that saw it. 2 of us were wearing night vision goggles, and 2 with the bare eye. And if anyone knows anything about night vision goggles, it's impossible to see orange through night vision goggles. But 2 of us did. We all saw it. We all, like, dude, you know. So can't explain it. Don't know what it was, you know. I had a sighting. Well, at least I believe it was a sighting. You know, I can't prove it, so I'm real careful about how I say that. But I believe it was a Bigfoot in Harlan, Kentucky, just not too far from here, as a matter of fact. I also had an opportunity where we had some crazy things happen out in Washington, and Jonathan and Sarah Brown's property. We heard a lot of howls. We heard, you know, bipedal footsteps. Again, another light just kind of came on and went off in the middle of the woods. Made absolutely no sense. So I don't know. I'm very careful because I don't think that the lights are Bigfoot related. Personally, that's just my opinion. Doesn't make me right. That's just my opinion.
Right.
I think that there's more going on than people realize. And then I had if you want to hear it, I had this really cool incident. We haven't really talked about a whole lot yet, but there was we were down in Alabama in Tuscaloosa, a very hot spot, a lot of activity, vocals, sightings, a lot of things going on in this area. So we went down. There was 5 of us there, and we were walking down this road, just kind of with our FLIR, kind of just checking the place out, you know. And we heard some movement in the woods to our left, right? So now we're standing there, we're facing the woods, and Diane, who's a tank, she just goes barreling in. The girl's not, you know, the lady's probably like this tall, this big around, and she just right on in the woods. Jason goes in with her, you know, just to make sure she wasn't by herself, you know. Mm-hmm. And then while we're standing out there, we Ashley had said she thought she saw a reflection off hair, you know, so from the moon. So we go in, she and I go in the woods over on this side, and we're in there probably 10 or 15 minutes, and Adam stayed on the road. We're in there probably like 10 or 15 minutes. We come out, and everybody's gone. Mm-hmm. You know, we're like, where is everybody, you know? So I said, well, I'll find them, you know, because we heard some noise in the woods to our left, and I said, well, I'll see where they are. So I yell roll call really loud, you know, and right away we get a here, you know, and I said, okay, that's one, you know, and all of a sudden she says, yeah, I see a light down the other way. I'm like, okay, well then that's probably Diane and Jason, and Adam's down there by himself, so we'll go down there. So we go walking down the road, and somebody's walking towards us. We can't really see who it is. We go down probably a good quarter mile anyway, and we run into Diane. And I said, I said, is Adam down there? And she goes, they both are. And Ashley and I look at each other like,
What the heck?
what just responded? Because it was an intelligent response to an intelligent question.
Right.
You know, I said roll call. It said here. You know, so that was a really, and we actually had that on tape too. So that was pretty cool. So I've got the audio of that, which is really neat.
That is really cool.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite incident so far.
Yeah, and have you ever spoken at conferences before?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I spoke at the Bigfoot University up in Washington just in April. That was Matt Johnson's conference.
Mm-hmm.
Had a great time. A lot of great people there. You know, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I'd see from talking to you that you really keep an open mind in this Bigfoot community, you know, because nothing's been solved yet.
Absolutely.
So we need to all keep an open mind, and no one's right and no one's wrong.
Absolutely.
And that's what I've come to find out in this community. But yeah, I definitely thank you for your few minutes tonight, and I think you want to call somebody for us?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to talk real quick because there's actually going to be a movie made, and we're filming it next year, next month in July, and I thought I would call up my buddy here real quick. Hold on a second. Let me bring him up. I'll put him on speaker here.
Hello?
Stacy Brown, what's up?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, listen, sitting here doing an interview with Sam Deloche and Bill, Darth Bill, right? Is that, yeah. And we were just kind of touching on the movie a little bit, and I thought maybe people would want to hear what you had to say about the movie. I mean, what's the movie about, Stacy?
Okay, well, the movie is a true story about the, I guess, long-term encounter of Bill and Carolyn Bridges. Now, in about 2005, they built her dream home. She had retired and, you know, finally got the house of her dreams on this beautiful piece of property. Absolutely gorgeous place. Everything she always wanted, she finally had. Well, It came with a cost because there were these creatures terrorizing the family. And, you know, she didn't know at first what it was. And I mean, I'm talking about smacking the house at night, these howls, screams right outside the window, or animals being killed, stuff being brought up to the house.
Yeah, and the handprint on the door with finding Bigfoot went and investigated, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's how some of you may have heard of it, is there was they got this huge handprint on the inside of the doors as it was trying to come in their house.
It's crazy.
And so she turned to her family, you know, kind of some help. A lot of the family's law enforcement. And, you know, she was laughed at. Even her own husband didn't even believe her that this was a Bigfoot. Everybody thought she was crazy, which is typical, you know, of most people. So she kind of got desperate. And they had one encounter that Bill ended up telling her to call a Bigfoot researcher. And he came out to hopefully, you know, get her closure, or at least let her know what's going on. And it just kind of goes from there, man. It covers all the instances, or the better of the instances, from 2005 all the way up until 2014.
Sure. So, and there's been what, like 90 occurrences happen on that property, something like that?
Well,
documented?
That's what I've got in my journal.
Wow, that's crazy. All right.
And see, I didn't start researching until 2012. That's where I had my first encounter. There was a guy named David Wright on the team from 2006.
And now, just real quick about the movie. Besides Stacy Brown, who's the biggest star you got in the movie?
Well, I'd have to say it would be Ed Brown.
There we go. No relation, by the way. So, yeah, so I got the part of Bill Bridges, which is pretty cool. I'm going to have a lot of fun, and I want to thank you for that, by the way. But I thought, you know, we're doing this, and I thought this would be a great chance to kind of talk about the movie and maybe get a little buzz going with it. So, thought I'd bring you on. I appreciate that, by the way.
Yes, thank you, Stacy.
No problem, man. It's I'm glad to have you on. We had a bunch of people try out for the part. I mean, honestly, I didn't pick you because you were my friend. I had a bunch of my friends try out for the part, so we picked you because you're the best one out of it. You're most kind of like him, so I think it's going to go really well. And Also, everybody that's listening, check us out on Facebook, Creatures, A True Story. We also have a Kickstarter going. We got like 25 days left, and we got 25% of our goal. So we got to get some more funds in there so we can reach our, our goal, so we can properly promote the movie and stuff. So if anybody, we got some great prizes on there, from T-shirts, hoodies, movie posters, pre-ordering the DVD and Blu-ray, and then also
Awesome.
for the top package is a copy of some of the tracks that we actually found on the property
Awesome.
September 24th, 2016, and can't get those nowhere else.
Right. Good deal. All right, buddy. Listen, man, thanks for taking the call, and I'll let Sam have a show back.
Thank you, Stacy.
Yeah, well, thank y'all so much for having me on, and I'd love to come on again sometime. Y'all have me.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Later.
Thanks.
And before we end this interview, I want Ed to go ahead and give a plug for his channels and what he does here.
Yeah, actually, you can go to YouTube. Go to the Bigtruth channel. It's one word, Bigtruth. We have not only my interviews, but Dan Lindholm, who is Bigtruth, by the way. I kind of work for him. He does all the hard work. I get the fun. I get to have the fun. He does all the work. And Dan, I'm sorry again, but go to YouTube, check out the Bigtruth channel, and you'll see a lot. Not just my shows, but you'll also see a lot of field work. Dan's research. He goes out in the woods. He's had some really cool stuff on film, which is really neat. So go check that out.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate that. And again, check out the videos at Sam DeLoach on YouTube as well. And of course, everybody knows Bill Lancaster does all my hard work. And check him out at Darth Bill 68 for all the Bigfoot BS episodes and all of his upcoming projects. Thank you again. Stay tuned for episode 6.